Okay, so great to see everyone again. Last Sunday we started one of the most important topic in the entire R2R Foundation, advance month and close and reporting. Okay, as one thing is very carefully here. Most candidates today know accounting entries, but very few understand why those entries happens and how close pressure worked in real MNC environment and how reporting impacts business decisions and most importantly how to explain these things during the real interview. Okay, okay, let's start now. One more important thing what I want to share with you before starting today's conversation. Again, the same thing. Keep one thing in mind throughout the session. Month end close is not just a financial routine. It is one of the biggest indicator of ownership, discipline, control in entire R2R roles. That's why top MNCs test it so seriously during the interviews. Okay? And one more important thing, my intent is during this session, my overall intent is after today's session, you should aware or I can say you will be able to explain the things around month end close, control, ownership and real MNC month end pressure as well. So stay connected till the end and understand each and every topic. Not like a student means you need to understand the things not as a accounting student you feel or you need to understand the things as you are going to give any interview or you are going to face any interview, then you will be able to understand the things more relatively. Okay, so let's start with the real importance of month end close in MNCs and GBS environment. Month end close directly affects financial accuracy, audit readiness and leadership confidence. So if close is delayed, reporting get delayed. If entries are wrong, the numbers become unreliable. Or if reconciliations are in sorry and reconciliations are incomplete, then control environment become very weak. So whenever interviewer asks you about month end close during the interview, they are not checking whether what they are checking during the interview. If they are asking the questions from month end close, they want to know that the candidate have the basic knowledge of month end close, and they are checking whether you understand why it matters, and they also want to know that if you can work under pressure and maintain accuracy and take ownership of deadlines. So think about like this way: if the books are not closed properly, management cannot trust the reports, and if management cannot trust the report, decisions get delayed. That is why month end close is a such critical responsibility in entire record to report. Okay, or we can say that's why month end close matter. That's why it's exits in MNC environment. So before moving forward, we need to understand the flow, entire working flow of a month end close. Month end close is usually start with day zero, means cut-offs. Cut-offs means the deadlines. That means every transaction before the close must be recorded properly. Then comes the journal entry posting on day one, followed by reconciliations and variance analysis, and then reporting preparation, and finally the sign off on the day 5. We can say the entire scenario is month end close means the month end week. So we need to settle the things as per the month and days, working days. Generally, companies start with day one or day zero. Few companies count from day 0 to day 5, but most of the MNCs count it as day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And why these days are exits, and what is the importance of these days? If I want to explain this flow as per interview perspective, or we can say the practical way, so don't simply say month end close is completed in 5 days. Instead of saying this, you need to say, for example, day 1 is for cutoffs, oh sorry, day 0 is for cutoffs, and day 1 is for posting the journal entries, and day 2 is for reconciliations, day 3 is for variance review, day 4 is reporting pack preparation, and day 5 is for final review and sign off. This shows that you understand not only the work but also the timing pressure behind the work. Okay, now this slide is the heart of close pressure. Why it's the heart of close pressure? Let me explain. During the month end close, an R2R professional handle three major activities, or we can say the three major areas: journal entries, reconciliations, and analysis or reporting. So journal entries include accruals, prepayment, amortizations, and reclass, or some intercompany journals like FX revaluations. And reconciliations include bank reconciliation, balance sheet reconciliation, intercompany reconciliations, and fixed assets reconciliations as well. Analysis and reporting includes variance commentary, reporting pack preparation, and support the controller for audit review. So, whenever interviewer asks, "What do you do during the month end close?" your answer should not sound like a checklist from the textbook. Try to understand here. Whenever interviewer asks the question, "What do you do during the month end close?" your answer should not sound like a checklist, means textbook theory. It should sound like an actual business process. For example, you can say like, "I support closed by posting accruals and reclass, reconciliations, reconciling key balance sheet reconciliations, reviewing intercompany open items, and preparing variance commentary for management reporting." I'm explaining again. You can say like, "I prepared the reconciliation, I post the journals for accruals and prepayments, reconcile key balance sheet reconciliations, reviewing intercompany open items, and preparing variance commentary for management reporting." Means you need to cover all the aspect. So interviewer feel that the candidate not only know the month and week, he is also aware about the flow, about the working environment. Okay, Now, let us shift into interview mindset. We can say the expectations of interviewer. What interviewer expect from a candidate, and why interviewer asks the questions from month end close. Or we can say the interviewer's expectation behind asking the questions from month end close. There is a simple question. When top MNC interviews month end close candidate, they are usually evaluating five things: ownership, accuracy, detail orientation, deadline, discipline, and communications. They want to know from the candidate, or they want to know from you: can you work under pressure? Can you handle multiple tasks at the same time? Or can you escalate when required? And can you explain your work clearly to the controllers and auditors? And last and a very important thing, can you stay accurate while the clock is running? Means during the deadlines, during the pressure working, can you maintain all these things? And these five major things are ownership, accuracy, orientation, deadline discipline, and communications. This is why generic answer don't work. Only saying I worked on month end close, it is very weak. So you always say like what you checked, means what the things you need to check before answering, or we can say how you practice for interview scenario. You need to practice. You say what you owned, what you check, and how you escalate, and what impact your work. So if I want to explain directly, as you want to explain, you should explain during the interview. So very important interview tip here: always use specific examples. Quantify where possible, and how that. We can say you also need to show your understanding about the month end close pressure rather than isolated the task. That is what top interviewers want to hear. How? Let's discuss this on to the next slide, and we pick a real MNC example here. Imagine your controller asks for an urgent status. At the same time, multiple reconciliations are still open, approvals are pending for journals, and intercompany mismatch are create reporting risk. This is not the theory question. This is exactly the kind of pressure that happens in real MNC growth cycle. So, how should an R2R professional behave in this situation? First, access maturity. How you access maturity? Not every issue has the same risk. You need to understand that every issue hasn't the same risk. Then focus on items that affect consolidated numbers. Consolidated numbers means final reporting. And next, escalate blockers immediately with a clear timeliness. And finally, communicate proactively so leadership know what is done, what is pending, and what support is needed. In interview language, you can say, when the close was under pressure, I prioritize high impact items first, escalate blockers to the controllers, update stakeholders on timeliness, and ensure the close continued without losing control. That answer shows maturity. It tells the interviewer that you know how to think under pressure, not just how to process your task. Okay, now let us go deeper into the journal entry slide. During month end close, the most common entries are accruals from R to R perspective. The most common entries are accruals, prepayments, reclasses, and FX revaluations. These are not random accounting terms. They are the adjustments that make the books accurate at period end. For example, what is accrual? Accrual entries means expenses has been incurred but not yet invoiced. Same for prepayment amortization means expenses is allocated over the benefit period. And reclass means the amount was posted in the wrong place and need correction now. FX revaluation means open foreign currency balances must be remeasured using the current rate during the month end. So in interview, if they ask, they means interviewer. If they ask how you handle journal entries, never say I post journal entries. Instead of saying posting journal entries, you need to say I prepare and review prepaid period end journals such as accruals, prepayments, reclasses, and FX revaluation entries, ensuring proper supporting document and approvals. You need to mention supporting documentation and approvals as well, because if you include the entire flow, interviewer understand that the candidate not only posting the entries, he also understand the ownership, he also understand the logic behind these journals. That sound like someone who understand both accounting and control as well. Okay, let's pick an example to understand more about this. A real MNC example, suppose consulting services is a expenses. Suppose consulting services worth 10k were received in March, but the invoice come in April. In that case, March must still reflect the expenses because actual service received for the month of March. So how you handle this scenario or how you post this entry, the correct entry should be debit debit consulting expenses by 10k and credit accrued liabilities with the same amount. And why we are accrued this entry in March? Because the expenses related to March but invoice received in April. So how you explain during the interview? In interview, you say like the service was received in March, so I accrued the expenses in March to ensure accurate period and reporting, and reverse or clear the accrual when the actual invoice comes in during April month or first week of April. That explanation shows that you understand the reason behind the entry, not just the debit and credit. Means you understand the practical flow, not just accounting basics. Okay, let's move towards accrual and prepayment, or we can say accrual versus prepayments. Accrual means the expenses is recognized before cash payment because the obligations has already been incurred, means already done. And prepayment means cash has been paid in advance, but expenses will be recognized later over the time. means we paid in advance. For example, March electricity bill used in March, but the bill comes in April. This is a normal scenario. And same for the example for prepayment. We can pick an example from insurance premium paid in January for 12 months. So the expenses is prepaid across the year, means from Jan to December. So in interview language, we can say accruals increase liability and prepayment are assets. Both are period matching adjustments. So if a candidate can explain this clearly, it immediately improve confidence during the interview, and it's create the improve confidence in interviewer's mind as well. Okay, now let's move to variance analysis. What is variance analysis? Variance analysis means analyze the variances based on the prior period. Prior period we can say based on the previous month or based on the previous year. Variance analysis means comparing actual numbers against budget we already have budgeted for the same thing with previous month data or with previous year data, and then explain the reason for movement. What is the reason behind the movement? So you should think in this layer: what changed, what did it change, and is the change expected or not? So in interview language, they are not looking for a long story, means interviewer not expect for a long story, they are looking for structured thinking. If travel expenses increase, don't just say it increased. You need to say travel expenses increased month over month due to high client visits related to a new onboarding project. That is the kind of practical business language MNCs like. Okay, now let's understand the concept with the real examples. uh, I pick an example from a top MNC here. Suppose travel expenses increased by 35% month over month. The first step is not panic. The first step should be investigate. So you check whether there was a booking error, a duplicate, a policy change, or a legitimate business reason. Then you validate with the business team, and only after that do you prepare the commentary. A strong commentary might sound like this: travel expenses increased by 35% due to increased client visits. For the new onboarding project, the increase is expected to normalize next quarter once the project stabilizes. That is a great interview answer because it shows analysis, business context, and communication clarity. Okay, now move towards reporting. Reporting, what is reporting? Reporting packs are deliverables. Deliverable means the deliverables that management and controllers use to understand the financial position and performance of the business. Typically, reporting includes trial balance, profit and loss account, balance sheet summary, intercompany balance confirmations, KPI dashboard, commentary notes, and supporting schedules. These all things are included in reporting. So in interview terms, you can say I support reporting packs by preparing trial balance summaries, balance sheet status, intercompany confirmations, and variance commentary for management review. This shows that you understand reporting as a business output, not just a file or a spreadsheet. So you need to include all aspect of reporting. You need to cover all the things: trial balance, profit and loss, balance sheet, intercompany confirmations, variance analysis, and management. Management review as well. Okay. Now, this slide is extremely useful because commentary is where many candidates become weak. So, good commentary has four parts. Means you need to prepare the commentary in four parts to understand the commentary, variances, or we can say the reporting commentary. We need to segregate it into four parts: what changed, why changed, and impact, and ultimately action you take. For example, again the same example, travel expenses increased by 3.5k or 35% compared to the previous prior month or previous month due to increased client visits for the new project onboarding. The increase is expected to normalize next quarter as the project is stabilized. That is a complete commentary. It gives moment, region, business context, and expectations as well. So, in MNC environment, commentary must be clear and professional. Its sound help management understand the story behind the numbers, not just the number itself. Okay? Now move towards balance sheet review. From this topic, first understand this topic. This is one of the most critical part of close because it protects the quality of financial statements. And controllers means the onshore teams usually focus on three things here: open items and aging, unsupported balances, audit sensitive accounts such as accruals, provisions, and reserves. Means these are the three main topics. If a candidate can explain how they review aging, how they identify stall balances, stall balances means the long variances, and how they ensure support is available, that candidate sound much stronger in interview. In simple words, we can say balance sheet review is not just an accounting task. It is a control process. It helps management trust that the numbers are real and supportable. Clear? Means balance sheet review looks like real and supportable. Then you will be able to explain this with impact and clarity. Now pick an important example again from a top MNC. Suppose during balance sheet review you find that prepaid insurance is still sitting on the books. Sitting on the books means it's still reflecting on the books even though the policy expired 3 months ago. That means the balances is stalled and need actions immediately. So how you approach this? You need to approach first, check the supportings, confirm the policy expiry, prepare and write off or adjustment if needed, obtain controller approval, and post the journal entry and document the region as well. During the interview, how you can explain this in an interview language? You can say like, I identify a stall prepaid balance during balance sheet review, validate the policy expiry, documented the aging, obtained approval, and posted the adjustment to clear the unsupported amount. This is the real example, or we can say this is the flow of explanation. That answer shows good control, thinking, and audit awareness. Okay, now let's move towards KPI, where we left in our earlier session. This is very important part because many candidates say they work on kilos, but they cannot explain how performance was measured. Means KPI, what is KPI? The full form of KPI is key performance indicators. Means the indicators which reflect the performance during the month end close. And typically KPI include close completeness percentage, means how much close is completed. On time reconciliation percentage, means how much reconciliations you prepared on time. Journal accuracy rate, how much journals you post with accuracy. Open item aging, SLA adherence, and audit observation count, means number of audit observations. These all things are covered within KPI. So if you can speak both KPI about the KPI confidently during the interview, you immediately sound more mature, because KPI shows that you understand process discipline, not just process execution. Sorry. So KPI is very important. You need to understand about the KPIs, key performance indicators. Now, this is a great practical slide because it shows how performance get tracked, how you can track the performances during the month end close. For example, close completion may be green. Here is the different color, but we can consider this like close completion may be green, and reconciliations on time may be amber in color. Open item older than 60 days may be red. Means we categorize all these blocks into the different colors. Green means complete, amber means few part remaining, and red means risk, means we need to investigate. That tells the story of where the process is strong and where attention is needed. In interviews, you can say, I use KPI monitoring to identify delays, track aging items, and support improvement actions. This is exactly how MNCs expect that an R2R professionals need to think in this manner. They expect from R2R professionals not only as an accountant but as an owner of the task, or we can say the owner of the process. If you think like an owner, you will be able to explain the things accordingly. Okay. And one more important thing, SLA, TAT, quality metrics. What are all these things? SLA means service level agreements, means the agreement on with the terms you are going to perform the task. And TAT means turn around time, the time you take to perform the activity. Accuracy you already know. And Quality score. What is quality score? Quality score means how much quality, or we can say the score comes from auditors or pre-review, that shows the quality. Okay, so whenever an interviewer asks the question about process maturity, these are the kind of words you should be comfortable using the interview. Sorry, during the interview. For example, we monitored SLA adherence for reconciliations, track TAT for journals, means turn around times to journals, and review accuracy trend to improve process quality. This sound much stronger than generic accounting language. If you have the basic understanding of these words, you should include these words during your explanations. And these words are SLA, TAT, quality. Okay. Now let us talk about tools. In real MNCs, MNC environment, or we can say the MNC GBS environment, tool matters because they reflect how work get controlled and tracked. So even if you have the basic understanding, or you don't have any understanding and don't have any exposure of these tools, even you explain a bit about these. How you can explain? You can take the help of AI, and I am also explaining this a bit here. SAP is usually used for journal entry posting and reporting. And what is Blackline? Blackline is widely used for reconciliation automations. And Oracle often support approval workflow and compliance tracking. And apart from all these things, Excel. Excel is still very important for trackers, follow-ups, and ad hoc analysis. And what is ad hoc analysis here? First, understand ad hoc. What is ad hoc? Ad hoc means the things happen occasionally. Means this is not a regular thing. If any journal you need to post occasionally, not on regular basis, we can say that this journal is a ad hoc journal. Okay. So in interview, it is enough to explain your exposure honestly. You don't need to pertain deep mastery of these tools. If you don't have exposure of these tools, but even you don't have any exposure, you should always be able to say the basic things like I have worked on SAP for journal posting and Excel tracker for follow-ups and reporting supports. Means you need to include these words that you are using SAP, you are using Blacklines, or you are working on Excel for different trackers. That is practical, believable, and useful. If you just say, or you just try to explain, and one more important thing here, if you don't have the deep understanding about the SAP logic, never try to explain it in detail. Just explain in simple language that SAP is used for journal posting and reporting. If you have the exposure of SAP, then you can explain it in depth. Same for Blackline and or Oracle as well. Okay. Now let's understand this. And this is very important because it shows how a mismatch is handled in a structured way. If there is a bank reconciliation difference, the process is simple. How you investigate this? First, verify the bank statement. What is the process of bank reconciliation? Complete process imply here. Verify the bank statement, compare with GL, investigate timing difference, check for missing or unrecorded items, post the adjustment journal if needed, and communicate with treasury or another support team. What makes this interview relevant? It is not just a step, but the logic behind them. Means you need to explain the logic behind these steps. If you explain the investigation process clearly, you sound like someone who has actually handled the work. And a strong answer should be like, you can say or you can explain this during the interview like this. Uh, I investigate bank reconciliation mismatch by comparing the bank statement with the GL, identify timing and posting issue, pass the needed adjustment, and document the final resolution for audit support. That is exactly the kind of answer that build trust. Okay, now move towards stakeholder management. And this is very important because technical skills alone doesn't close the books, but communication does. This slide include the communication flow, how you need to communicate. As an R2R professional, in a closed cycle, R2R professionals interact with various teams, means with FP&A, accounts payable, accounts receivable, external auditors, and sometimes business teams. Business teams means onshore teams. If these stakeholders are not aligned, close will get delayed. So your communication should be clear, effective, and impactful. So you should explain stakeholders management like, I provided daily close updates to the controllers, coordinate with AP and AR for open items, and shared clear commentary for reporting support. This is a very short and simple answer, and you cover all the aspects. This shows that you understand cross-functional coordination. Cross-functional coordination means coordination between the other teams, means with AP or AR, which is a major MNC expectations. MNCs expect, are you able to communicate with the cross-functional teams or with the onshore stakeholders? Technical knowledge identified issues, but communication resolve the issues. Means the only technical knowledge can identify, but if you communicate this properly, then you will be able to resolve the issue. This is the key message here. Okay, and this is all about practical problem solving. Common issue include delayed approval, missing supporting, late journals, intercompany mismatches, FX mismatches, and system downtime. Means these are the situations. If the important thing is not only to list the issue, these are the issues, but it is not important that you are listing the issues. The important thing is how you respond during these situations. For example, delayed approval means send reminder and need to escalate the things. When a document is missing, follow up with systematically with the cross functional teams. If there is a late posting or late journal, prioritize critical items. And if there is a system downtime, what you will do? You can say just SAP is not working, you cannot say during the month end. You need to use the backup procedure because month end never delayed, even system downtime. And one more thing for FX revaluation, you need to reevaluate the FX logic during the month end. So in interviews, you can say, I use a risk based approach, prioritize blockers, and communicate status update until the issue is resolved. That shows control and maturity both. And again, you can see here the common questions related to these topics. And the common questions are explain month end close end to end. What is accrual and how do you handle it? How do you manage pressure? How do you perform variance analysis? What KPI do you track? And how do you handle mismatches? All these things we are discussing here, or these are the most probably asked questions from month end close perspective. The best way to answer is in a structured format, means never answer randomly. Okay, don't answer in random formats. Always give the answer in a structured way. Okay, and one or more important thing apart from the questions, how you need to explain these things during the interview. Majority of the candidate explain randomly, and now we analyze the variance, the difference, variance not, we are analyzing the difference here, difference between weak answer and strong answer. You can clearly read on your screen, and I'm also explaining the weak answer and strong answer. Weak answer means if someone say like I work on month end close, it is a very generic answer, and most of the candidates normally explain I worked on month end close, I know month end close. How you need to explain this during the interview? You need to explain like I manage journal entries including accruals and prepayments, perform balance sheet reconciliations, conduct variance analysis, and prepare reporting packs while ensuring timely and accurate close. And now you can see the difference. The strong answer shows scope, action, and business impact. That is what interviewers expect from a candidate. Okay? And now, whenever interviewer asks any behavioral question, you always need to use the star. Star means the star method of answering the questions, answering the behavioral questions. And star means I already explained during earlier session many times, but again, star means situation, task, action, and result. For example, if the system went down during the close, you need to explain the situation. And what is the situation? Situation is downtime during the month end, task, complete close on time, and action, use backup templates, escalate the issue, and prioritize critical tasks. It is the action and ultimately result. result will be close completed on the time with no audit findings. This is how a good answer become a memorable answer. And this is exactly why STAR is such an important interview framework. Okay? Now let us hear the same thing in real interview style. Means how you explain the answers using STAR. If someone means the interviewer, if interviewer asks during the interview, describe a time you face pressure during month end close and how you handle it. This is a situation and how you handle this situation, how you respond this question using a star. You need to explain during Q4 close our SAP crashed on day 2 and 15 reconciliations were still incomplete. My task was to ensure the close happened on time without compromising accuracy. I immediately escalate the issue, prioritize the highest risk accounts, use manual backup templates, and coordinate with AP and AR for supporting data. As a result, the close was completed on time with zero audit findings. This is the level of answer that create confidence in the interview. It sound real, structured and professional. Means if you use star and it's not random, if you practice of using the star, then you will be able to explain these things properly. Okay? And now mock interview drill. Now I share the few things here. How you need to prepare. How you need to prepare your mock interview. How you can prepare yourself for interview. If I asked you, now let's think with me. If I ask you to explain your month end close experience in 2 to 3 minutes, how you explain it during the interview? If interviewer asks you, explain your month end close experience, how you structure it and how you explain it in 2 to 3 minutes. Just think here. And what things you need to include in your explanation. Very important. Your answer should include what you handle, how you handle the pressure, how you manage communications, what KPI or deadlines you track, and what result you delivered. Ultimately, you need to include these things. And what is these things? What you handle, how you handle pressure, how you manage document communications, and what KPI you track, and ultimately what was the result. Okay, means how you delivered the things. So don't memorize a paragraph, or we can say don't memorize long paragraph. Practice a structure answer, short and clear. And confidence comes from structure, not from over memorizing. It is very important thing here. If you only memorize the long paragraphs, it's not enough, and that never give the clarity. Clarity comes from structure. Structure means whenever you explain the things in a structured way, then clarity comes automatically. And if clarity comes, you will become confident. Okay? So Now let me close the learning part. From month end close demands ownership and discipline. If I say the overall takeaway from today's session or from overall topic, this topic month end close, how you need to think this. You need to think this in a clear 5 steps. First step is month end close demands ownership and discipline. First thing. Second, accurate journal and reconciliations are the foundation of reporting. And the third, variance analysis create business insights. And fourth, KPI shows process maturity. And the fifth or last one is communication create trust. If you remember only one line from today's session, then you remember the one thing or one single line or one single sentence from today's session. Month end close is not just about completing tasks, it is about accuracy, timeliness, control, and business confidence. Clear? And before we close the session, if anyone of you have any question, so you can ask. We already cross over approximately over the 1 hour. So if anyone of you have any question, please ask, or I will close the session with next session. We can say with the intent of next session. So if anyone want to ask, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Otherwise, I will close the session with a clear intent and I will close this. And before close today's session, I want to say one final thing. Month end close is not just about posting entries or completing tasks. It is about ownership, accuracy, communications, timeliness, and business trust. This is the important thing. Okay. So let me close today's session with the next session in intent, and next Sunday we will move into another very important topic, and the topic will be fixed assets, depreciation and lease accounting. And we will discuss capitalization versus expenses, depreciation logic, assets life cycle, lease accounting, and practical interview questions from top MNCs as we discussed today and in our earlier session as well. So, as we are doing the deep dive of R2R, approximately 4 to 5 sessions we spend in R2R. We covered the various aspect, and we divided record to report into 3 different segments. First, general ledger accounting, intercompany, and now we will discuss the another important thing, fixed assets accounting and lease accounting. Okay, so stay connected and keep practicing, because consistency means regular preparation plus practical understanding and communication clarity equal to higher interview conversation. If you will be consistent, you practice the things, and you communicate with clarity, you will be automatically become confident for your upcoming interview. Okay, so with these words, I'm closing today's session. Thank you very much. Thanks to joining, and see you next Monday at the same time. Thank you and bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.